Hot off the presses, we got some fresh new propaganda here.
Supreme victory!
Hey, what's going on everyone? So I want to respond to this video that's been going viral, and it's called 23 Ways to Be Killed If You're Black in America. And you know, it's just a bunch of propaganda. And so I'm going to be breaking down each case, and we'll just kind of see how it really holds up to being like legitimate. So here we go.
Failing to signal a lane change.
The death of Sandra Bland was an interesting one. It was a little bit weird. When I was first hearing about all of it and how it ended up, like, she ended up hanging herself. So I was kind of like, oh, well, that seems a little suspicious, you know, because obviously there are some really fucked up things that go on. So I was kind of like, I don't know, I don't really believe it. But at the same time, I mean, there are plenty of mentally unstable people. So, you know, maybe she just did it to make a statement, you know, maybe because I don't know, but it seemed a little fishy. But I can't just say that it's such an extraordinary and extreme situation. I can't just say that, oh, this is because I'm black, this could happen to me, I can get hanged in a jail cell.
Riding in your girlfriend's car with a child in the back.
So me and plenty of others made the mistake that, you know, we kind of made a video before all the facts came out. And in the case of Philando Castile, you know, it looked like he was just shot, like, you know, like just minding his own business at a traffic stop, you know, like after saying that, oh yeah, I have a gun on me or whatever. So it turns out that he actually has a gun in his lap, and from what I hear and from what I've read is that he was like kind of reaching for it. And you hear the cops saying like, I told you not to reach for it or whatever. And you know, I still think it's kind of fucked up that the cop was, you know, kind of forced to fire in the car, especially where there's a, you know, a little girl in there. Still a really messed up situation, but you know, it wasn't like just it happened out of nowhere. I mean, I don't care who the fuck you are, white, black, anything. If you have a gun sitting on your lap, most likely you're gonna get fucking shot.
Run into the bathroom in your own apartment.
From my understanding of this case, that it was said that the officers thought he was carrying a gun, and I'm not sure if the dude was actually aware if the cops were, you know, after him or not, but at a certain point it looks like he was, and he kind of ran into the building and everything. I don't really, I'm just kind of going off of what I've seen off the wiki page. And you know, when you have trigger happy cops and stuff like that, it's just, you can't do anything too sudden to where it just automatically kind of puts you in risk. You know, I'm not saying that, oh, you know, it should never come to that case, or, you know, cops should be more careful, of course, but especially in these times, like, you really have to look out for yourself. You have to be smarter. Just like there's defensive driving, because there's people that are really stupid and reckless. It's the same way. You kind of have to be defensive when you're around police officers too. So it's an interesting situation, but I'm still not going to say, oh, this happened because black.
Selling cigarettes outside of a corner store.
So I think we all remember this case of Eric Garner. Well, I'm going to have to say that it's not just a black thing again, because he was selling illegal cigarettes. Lucy's what they call them when you're selling individual cigarettes. You're doing something illegal, and then it got escalated, and then unfortunately, you know, dude had like a asthma attack or whatever the fuck happened when he was getting choked out. And it was really unfortunate, you know, the whole like I can't breathe thing. That, yeah, it was really fucked up. But at the same time, it's just another situation that could have been avoided. Like, dude, you're doing some illegal shit, and you have really brutal and fucking and cops that are a lot of them that are just looking to whoop anyone's ass, you know. So like, you can't do shit like this.
Riding a commuter train.
So this was an interesting situation because there was a fight that broke out, I guess, at the train station and in Oakland, and it looks like it was kind of being handled where the dude was on the floor and handcuffed, and then that's when he got shot. So I would say, yeah, there was absolutely excessive force there. Could it be because he was black? Possibly. I'm not gonna just jump to conclusions, but yeah, as far as the officers go, that was obviously fucked up, and you know, there were consequences.
Walking home with a friend.
It wasn't just purely walking home. You know, it was actually in the middle of the night where it was believed that he had some type of weapon on him. It turned out to be, like they said, it was a painting stick. So an officer kind of pulled him over to talk. And from my understanding, what I read, that situation got escalated. There was a struggle, and it ended up with him getting killed. So it's not just walking home.
Making eye contact.
I'm not sure why it says eye contact, because looking into the death, I don't see something about that. What I've seen is just that this kid had a switchblade. What happened was when he was put in a van to be transported, I guess he suffered some trauma, you know, like maybe he wasn't secured. Now, people can argue, say, no, his ass was beaten before he was thrown in there. But from what they're saying is from the autopsy, it's like most likely it was from being transported. But it was still ruled as a homicide because it was fucked up for, you know, the cops. They didn't really handle the situation well. So it's, but I still can't say like, oh, it's just a black thing. You know, this happened because he's fucking black.
Selling CDs outside of a supermarket.
We all know he wasn't just selling fucking CDs. I'm not even gonna go into this shit. Shut up.
Wearing a hoodie.
Same with this. There's plenty of evidence to the contrary of what the media was selling us. And I'm not gonna go into this either. Like, you should be smart enough to know that Trayvon Martin wasn't just some innocent little kid trying to get some fucking iced tea and some Skittles. Dude was fucked up situation happened. There you go.
Walking away from police.
Mario Woods was not just walking away from the police, actually far from it. Turns out he had a knife and the police were responding to a stabbing. You know, there was a stabbing victim in the hospital, and then apparently the guy was still at large, and they said they found Mario with the knife, and you know, he wouldn't drop it, and actually there was some tasing and some bean bags used first, and he didn't go down. And then that's when, you know, people really started recording, and then they saw like the whole situation of the cops dropping his ass, you know, and started firing at him with some lethal force. So it took a lot, you know, for that to get in that situation. You know, I have no sympathy for the guy. Like, dude was doing some fucked up shit, you know. Apparently he stabbed some dude, so whatever.
Walking toward police.
Another bullshit lie. See, this dude had a knife and he was reportedly breaking into vehicles, and the cops confronted him, and from what it says is that he also fucked with the cops' car. And so from there, that's when shit got escalated, and unfortunately, he got shot a bunch of times, 16 to be exact, by one person. No, from what I've read, it said that he dropped, he got shot, he dropped, and then the cops started firing once, I mean, a lot more. And it was just one cop that acted alone, and everybody else kind of agreed that, yeah, that was excessive force, that was unnecessary. But that could be just, you know, an isolated incident of this piece of shit cop, you know, the bad eggs, the bad apples that we're always talking about. Could that one cop have been racist? Possibly, but we don't know. I'm not going to attribute this to this being because, oh, he's black, so this happened, you know, like I'm saying, I'm black. Shit like this doesn't happen to me, so I'm just going to keep moving along.
Missing a front license plate.
He got pulled over because he was missing a front license plate, and he didn't get killed because of that. So apparently the officer was asking for his license, and the dude was saying he had one, but then he didn't have one. And then the cop was actually telling him to step out of the car, you know, telling him to remove the seatbelt and all that shit. He closes the door, you know, he tries to speed off, and then that's when, you know, shit got escalated. The cop told him to stop, you know, he ended up firing at him and stuff, and the cop obviously tried to lie a little bit to say that, oh, my arm was caught in the door or whatever the fuck, you know, and that's why he fired. And I guess that wasn't true from a witness standpoint, but the whole point of this video is that, like, don't do stupid shit like that, you know, it's gonna get you killed, you know, it's not smart to do anything against the police officer's orders.
Holding a fake gun in the park in Ohio.
I don't really care who you are, you know, if you're holding a gun that's fake but it looks real, there can be a huge fucking problem. And when I was a kid, I was one of those kids that actually liked to have fake guns, but then I'll try to make them as real as possible. Like, I would buy some spray paint, or I'd use my mom's, and I'll take off the little orange thing that would show that it's totally, you know, that would show that it's fake, and I would make it look as real as possible. Obviously, my mom got pissed off of that, and for a reason. And you know, like, I actually remember I bought, like, with my allowance that I got this toy Desert Eagle that if you put 2 AA batteries in it, it would sound like a real fucking gunshot, like a real Desert Eagle going off. And I never saw that toy after a while because my mom threw it away. And I was pissed off, obviously, but I get it. Like, if I would have went outside with that shit, especially me, you know, maybe it would have given a cop more of a reason to actually try to blast me or some shit, you know, not take any chances. And that's the point. Like, the cop doesn't want to take any chances and try to identify and, like, squint his eyes. Is this real? Is this fake? You know, like, dude fucking just has to do his job. He does not want to get shot, and so he fucking shoots first. You know, shit happens.
Driving with a broken brake light.
Dude got stopped, he was high and drunk. I mean, that's not really a part of it, but it's probably influenced his situation to flee, because when the cop was gonna go back to his patrol car, and that's when there was the chase, and there was some tasering, and then shots fired, dude's dead, you know? Like, it's just another example of doing stupid shit that can escalate to you getting killed.
Sitting in your car before your bachelor party.
So of course that's not what just happened. What actually happened was that there was an undercover police officer, a black one actually, that was staking out the place where he was having the bachelor party because of, oh, there might be some prostitution going on. And then he happens to hear the dude's friend say, yo, go get my gun. And so he thinks there's like a shootout about to take place or something. So the undercover cop calls for backup. You know, as situation gets escalated, you know, people get shot. You know, like I said, it's not just an innocent thing. It's not just because he was sitting in his fucking car at his bachelor party. You know, just fucking propaganda shit is just, man, it's just so fucking, whew, so good.
Walking up the stairwell of your apartment building.
All right, so out of all of them, this one's a really fucked up one. So it's like you have a couple of rookie cops that were coming up this stairs, and then I guess, you know, being a little bit untrained, dude was doing his whole flashlight and gun, you know, thing, his Call of Duty shit, and that dude was coming downstairs, and they kind of like ran into each other, and a shot was like, boom, you know, poured off, you know, it was off into his chest, and the dude kind of like died shortly after. So it was a really fucked up situation. Now, was it because he was black? I mean, it could be that made it a little more scary for him, but I think that possibly anyone could have gotten shot in that situation, especially when you're dealing with a rookie. Like, you know, if it was white, it could have just been he was scared and just fired off a shot. Like, that is it's a fucked up and horrible mistake, but I'm gonna just say that it's probably not purely racism. I don't think so. I don't think it's just because he was black.
Calling for help after an accident.
So this girl at 4 in the morning, she gets into an accident, and then she knocks on some dude's door. From what they said, it was banging, you know, so the guy that owned the house thought like, oh, his house was getting broken into, so of course, you know, he did what he thought was right, and, you know, shit happened, you know, she got shot and killed. Now, I'm not going to say that it's purely racial profiling, that's what people are saying. Now, it definitely could be, because I know that shit exists. I am 100% aware of that, so that definitely could be the case. But, you know, at the same time, you know, people get shot and killed all the time that are robbing houses or that are out at weird hours doing suspicious activity. You know, I'm not going to just completely say that it's just being black, you know?
Holding a fake gun in Virginia.
I've already been over this. Don't fuck with fake guns, especially if they look like they're real, you know? Just, if you want to have some type of gun, have a fucking super soaker. There you go. No problems at all.
On the way to Bible study.
Sure, but this Dylan Roof guy was a fucking crazy nutbag, and it wasn't like there was just some huge conspiracy like of just, you know, hey, you know, this shit happens all the time. This was a very fucked up, isolated situation, and I don't like how they're using this piece of shit Bono to push more propaganda out, man. Fuck this guy, dude.
Holding a fake gun in Walmart.
Same shit, you know, like, and it wasn't just like he was just holding it, you know, like, propaganda is exhausting.
Laughing.
This was another pretty fucked up situation to where I guess there was a party, a loud ass party, and I don't know if they were part of the party, but, you know, her and her friends were walking down an alleyway, and an off-duty cop, you know, was kind of seeing this as suspicious, and then I guess a cell phone was pulled out, which he thought was a gun, and the fucking guy just started shooting like a moron, you know, like fearing for his life or whatever the case was. So this was another fucked up situation. Now, I can't say, I don't even know the entire story. I don't even know if you can clearly see the people and see that they're, she was black or they were black or whatever. I don't know. I think that in any case, you know, whoever the fuck it was, if it was all white people, the dude would have acted the same way. Like if he saw something really quick flash of a cell phone and probably thought it was a gun. I still think, you know, obviously it was the cop's fault, but, you know, I still don't say that, oh, it's just because I'm black, you know, I don't, no, just no.
Holding a wallet.
This is another situation of just failing to comply with the police officers. Like, you know, you have some cops that thought he was somebody, like, I guess there was some, like, rapes or pedophilia, something going on, and you know, he was actually trying to kind of go into his apartment from what I understand, and he also reached into his pocket and got his wallet, and that's when one of the cops said he has a gun, and then that's when they started firing, and you know, things got more escalation where it's just like, you got, like I've already said, I don't need to, do I even need to say it again? Like, you can't do shit like that when the cops are fucking like, we already know how cops are, you know? Not all of them, but some of them are fucking trigger happy. That's why they take the job.
For attending a birthday party.
It wasn't just attending a party. There was some domestic violence, and like the EMTs, you know, the paramedics and the police were called. There was some type of struggle to, from what I'm understanding, that the guy ended up getting a police officer's gun, and that's what I read, and that's what led to him getting shot and killed, you know? So it wasn't just like, oh, I'm at a party and the cops show up and then blah, you know, like, people are being fucking stupid in this thing. And I wonder if the celebrities have even like tried to look at this stuff at all, like, or did they just say, here's the script, just say this, here's your money, fuck off. I imagine it's that one. So overall, I think maybe there's 2 instances where there was really just like, oh, some of these people could have been killed because they were black, but other than that, just a bunch of bullshit, you know? The fucked up thing is I can make a video about white people getting killed or anybody getting killed in America by police officers or whomever, just like this, you know? Just all I gotta do is just put on a little bit of sad music. All I gotta do is just look a little sad. And then the last thing I gotta do is just slow it down a little bit, maybe put a little bit of black and white on there. Sure, there's going to be a hell of a lot more propaganda pieces with celebrities and whomever coming out because Black Lives Matter is one of the hottest topics right now, with police officers getting killed and just them blocking the roads and all this crazy shit happening. So please just be careful when you see shit like this. I know my audience are pretty vigilant, but for people that are new to this, you know, like, and you see pieces like this, don't just believe it. Like, just do a teeny bit of research. I mean, everything's on Wikipedia, all the good and the bad, and then just take it in for yourself. But what do I know? I'm just some black guy. Hey, thanks for watching this video, and if you liked it, you can like and share it. You can also subscribe by hitting the subscribe button. You can also follow me on my social media, especially Twitter. That's where I spend most of my time. And to everybody that is following me, everyone that is supporting me, all my patrons, PayPal donations, everyone, thank you all so much. Make sure you check out one of my previous videos, and you all have a wonderful day, and Papa bless.